How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top skins for this week. That doesn't mean all of these skins will have a necessary chance to get into the game. So if you're new to these videos, these are just my recommendations for this week, the best I could pull out of the community. So that very well means, Hulk is only going to choose 8 or so of these like 50 plus skins. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Over here, we've got this really sick bandana. It comes in 2 different versions. I decided to do the fully cut out one because I think it just looks the coolest, because it just kind of has this face mask thing going on. But it has Raid written on the side, and then we've got this actual like cut out teeth design where you can actually see the player through it. And I've got both versions put down in the description below, so you can check out the other version if you like. But I definitely really dig this Steel Predator bandana this week for sure. It's very, very cool looking. Next up, we have something a little more on the silly side. From Holy Spirit, we've got the Friendly Man shirt. And this has got a little naked guy sitting on top of a lot of other nakeds, skulls, bones, bloody rocks. And he's got a little crown, it's saying hi, and it says friendly, so, that's pretty funny. I do kind of wish maybe there was something on the back of it, but it's definitely a cool little shirt for sure. Next up, we have a really, really unique hoodie and pants set. I really love the details to this one. This is the Dragon set by Red Rex, and as you can see, there's all these kind of like dragon scales and this reptile look to it, but then it also has kind of this regal look with these golden loops and so forth, and the golden trim in between. You can just really see the detail, especially here on the knee pads, and just kind of like the dragon skin in it. Same on the back here, and then the real nice details really is the back of the hoodie here with the wings, that golden spine going on, and then on the hoodie you've actually got some dragon horns. So this is just a absolutely awesome looking set. Next, we've got continuation in the bee cosplayer set, I guess is what it got named to. And we've got some gloves here. Gloves have little wings with a little bee on it. Same thing going on over here, of course. And then when you go down to the boots, they've got the happy little derpy bee face with little wings on the sides. And it even has little antennas coming out, and those bright blue, I can't speak today, laces on top. Next up, we see the Roadsign version of the quite pricey high-qual set that got in last week. The Opulent set has a continuation, as you can see, so you can get that kilt for your high-qual, or the whole set, hopefully. I don't know, we'll just have to see. And will it carry such a price tag? I don't know, we'll have to see as well. But as you can see, it's very reflective, so you better be ready to be seen in this thing. But it's definitely a very nice set, and judging from how well the high-qual set sold at the even crazy price, I think this might be a pretty good contender for this week. Lastly, we're going to finish up with a very epic-looking high-qual set. This thing just reminds me of something the Punisher would probably wear, and it is just absolutely awesome. This thing is the Gladiator set by Teddy, and if you take a look at it, there's just these kind of like an army green with gray going on. You've got this painted up to have kind of like that, skull look to it. It's got a belt buckle down here, which I thought was a little bit different. The back looks very nice and armored up. Same thing if you look at the top of the head here, but the real details are just kind of in the look of the face mask here. I mean, you've got this kind of green trim around it, which almost looks like a mold or moss growing onto it. It's definitely got really cool details. These fangs on the side are just absolutely cool. So definitely a awesome high-qual set for this week. Alright, so next we've got some deployables for you, as you can see. So let's start at the very end here with some sleeping bags. And, well, we've got a sick crossbow that made it in. So obviously this set has to continue, and it's the Retro Wave sleeping bag. It's got that same retro look. If you don't recognize this, well, then you may have, you may be on the younger side, but this is definitely pretty awesome. Definitely love it. And of course it does glow, so we'll definitely have to show that to you here at the end. Next, we've got a desert camo bag for you, and this one's meant to kind of blend into the deserty zone of Rust, of course, right around kind of like, you know, where the palm trees and stuff like that is. If you actually check it out in the description, there's a picture and it actually blends quite well. So definitely a very nice desert camo bag. It's always good when people take the time to make sure it fits the terrain and those little gravelly areas. This one blends in quite well. Next, we've got two furnaces for you, and this one is absolutely awesome. It has a very tribal look. You can see it's, you know, made out of this plain rock, and then they kind of painted it up, and on the back it has this tiger fur, and it's put all, you know, held on there by a nice rope, and it's just absolutely cool looking. And then the top, it has like a nice little carved design. This is definitely a cool furnace. There's even moss growing at the bottom there. Definitely love the look of this guy. Moving on, we've got another furnace for you. We got the rock, so now there is the mystical furnace to go alongside with it. Go ahead and light it up, and look at that glow. It's just really nice. Check that out. Now, the furnace itself doesn't have any emission, but again, we'll check out these at night in a minute. Then we've got something new, a table skin. It's been a while since we've seen one. This one is definitely taking inspiration from the research table, and it basically just kind of lays out, hey, you know, here's blueprints for the farmhouse we're going to build, and you just got all sorts of little nice little details on here you can check out and look into. It's definitely nice, and we honestly haven't had a table skin for a while, so I could, you know, I'm kind of hoping this might be a contender this week. Then we've got doors, doors, doors. So let's start with the barn door. A lot of people really love the double barn metal door. Well, don't worry, the creator has come back and made the single door to go alongside with it. So here it is in all its glory, and yes, it is an actual metal door. This is not wood, and I think it looks quite nice. It has that kind of like sheet metal-y look to it more than wood, and I think that goes around quite well with it. Next, we've got another creepy door for you. You can see this, I don't know, what is it? Is it muck, hair, tentacles, roots? I don't know what this is, but it's got all sorts of eyeballs coming out of it. And it is quite a creepy door. It has a creepy name going alongside with it as the all-seeing door. Well, yeah, I mean, it's got plenty of eyes, so yeah, makes sense. Next, we've got something even crazier. There's giant bees in Rust now. No, I'm kidding. There isn't. But this door has a few and is definitely quite neat. I really like the kind of like just barely, you know, the bark stripped off of some logs kind of look to the, you know, frame of this door. And then there's the nails kind of sticking out. Those are some pretty big nails. Those are like railroad spike size nails. But you got the giant bees to match it. So, hey, definitely a very cool little door. Don't get too much honey on your hand when you open it. Then next up, we've got this cool little souvenir door, or trophy I should call it, from Call Me Tommy. It is the Trophy CCSC door. And, you know, CCSC is the cargo ship. If you've never seen it, then I don't know where you've been for a while. But this is going alongside to match that. So, hey, you know, you successfully did cargo. Why not reward yourself by showing it off with a door? Now, there is one issue with this door. I noticed the text is backwards. So, Tommy, if you see this, hopefully you can fix that before Thursday. Should be easy fix. Then over here, we've got something a little bit on the cuter side. If you like kitties, this might be the door for you. This is the Cat Lovers Sheet Metal door. Who would have thought? You know, I mean, that name doesn't make sense at all. No. But anyways, it's got a couple kitties on it and some kitty prints, and I don't know, those kitty prints are in red. That's a little suspicious. Cats, you can't always trust cats, and look at this dead fish. I don't know, they've been up to something. That's all I have to say. Lastly, we've got a garage door for you, and who would guess it's called the Hell Riders door. It's got some really cool artwork on here, and otherwise it kind of just looks like a beat-up graffitied garage door, which is something that honestly fits perfectly into Rust. You can see the top roller has that nice steel look, and corrugated steel, I should say, and boom, there we are. So, very, very nice. Definitely love this for sure. So, let's go ahead and check these out at night. Starting with that sleeping bag, you can see that it has all sorts of neat glow to it. So, I mean, not the most stealthy bag, but if you live in a cave or a dark base, this could be a very nice way to find out where your sleeping bag is, or just help you find your way through the base. Then over here, as I said, both furnaces do not actually glow themselves, but we wanted to show them at night. And there you have that. And lastly, we do have glow on the eye door. Of course, the eyes have to glow, right? Creepy. Alright, let's jump straight into those weapons and tools. Starting here, we've got a rock, and yes, this rock has a little bit of a glow, so we'll be sure to show you guys that here shortly. This is a Noxious rock by Fenri. Definitely looks like something you shouldn't pick up, especially when you see the glowing version of it. And very cool design. We have lots of kind of like glowy rocks, but it's always cool to see different ideas for them. Next, we've got something else a little bit different, and I really love the creativity on this one, and that's why we're showing it. The color itself is kind of meant to be kind of like that Game Boy color, but I don't know, there's something, I don't know. You guys, sound off down in the comments. Do you like the kind of like matte color to it, or would it look better if it looked more plasticky? I don't know. I think it might look a little bit better plasticky. One way or another, it's a very creative idea. It's basically a rock to look like an old Game Boy, and I'm digging that quite a bit. It says Cobalt there, and we've got some little, 8-bit rust guys. Definitely a awesome little rock. Moving on, we've got this epic looking rock. Look at this. It looks like a meteor that just fell straight out, and man, this thing looks heavy. Like, doesn't it look like it would weigh like 4 times what a rock would? It just looks like this heavy metal meteor, and I think Otter did an excellent job on it. It's just very, very heavy and dangerous looking, and I think that's how the rock should feel in Rust. Next, we've got something on the complete opposite spectrum when it comes to rocks, with this crazy inflated, halfway deflated, I should say, pufferfish rock. This guy's just kind of our meme skin for the week. This guy's hilarious, and I mean, how would you not enjoy just beating other nakeds to death this one? I mean, come on, look at that. Next up, we've got a tool set for you, and yes, it does glow just like the rock. This is a continuation in the acid set from Bad Trip, and this is the acid tools. So we've got the stone hatchet, and then we have got the stone pickaxe. So very cool there, and like I said, these do glow, so we'll be sure to show the glowing weapons at the end. Next up, we've got one more primitive tool set for you. This one is just absolutely hilarious. I love how all the little faces actually look like separate pebbles that were like put together in this. This is the bubble stone hatchet and pickaxe set, and these little critters are just absolutely hilarious. Moving on, you can see the pickaxe has a bunch along the handle as well, because it doesn't have the most space, so you got to fit a couple more in there. Definitely a very good use of the space that's there. Next, we've got a hatchet and pickaxe for you. These have kind of more of a gritty feel to them. This is the Homicide set by Eben. Now, there does seem to be a little bit of a shading issue. I'm sure that's something that can be worked out, though, by the, later today. No problem there. As you can see, it's a little bit worse on the pickaxe, but again, something simple fix. Definitely a kind of nice little rusty set. Then we've got this really nice combat knife for you. It is the Pharaohs Knife. This thing's just absolutely epic looking. It's got this gold kind of regalness to it. It looks dangerous, and just that blue and gold. The Egyptians had something right. You know what I mean? Definitely a very nice knife. Then, wrong one there. Moving on, we can get into our gun, starting with this pistol. And it is part of Mishka's fake set. There's an AK, now we've got the Python. This thing just literally looks like it's made out of cardboard. And I don't think I need to say anything more past that. It's just awesome. I mean, look at that. You can even see the corrugated parts. Like, when you aim down the sight, this is just great. And fire it off a bit, pop a reload, and look, it's even corrugated around the rim of the cylinder. That's just great. Alright, moving on to more weapons, we've got a DB for you. This one is the Pit Stop, or the Your Pit Stop DB. And you can see there's a finish line at the end. It even has a little sign that says finish, like strapped to it there, bent over and riveted in. And you've got the two little, flags going on as you aim down the sight. Definitely very rusty looking. fits into the game quite well. And double barrel is quite often a lot of people's finish line, so to say. So I think the name fits. Next, we've got a sap for you, and this one just kind of rusty. It's very much so just kind of like, you know, it's been used a lot, lots of wear and tear, and a little bit customized, but the person didn't want to customize it too much. Just kind of enough to make it theirs, and I think that fits quite nice. I do wish there was a little bit more going on when aiming down the sights, however. Go ahead and pop a reload there. Alright. Next, we've got a star for you. This one's definitely on the awesome but funny side, and this is part of Diva Dan's building block set. If you look here, you've got this silly little smiley face staring back at you, and some various colors to the site, which I think is nice. And the whole thing looks like it's made out of some kind of like Lego building blocks kind of thing. And, you know, these are his version of, you know, Legos. So this is Rust's kind of mega block, you know? And I like definitely when you will, you know, shoot off some there and pop a reload, and you can see it's like putting in like a little dome cartridge, and yeah, I love it. This whole thing is just awesomely creative. Oh, yep, no, that's the right one. Moving on, we got an MP5 for you. This one is got kind of a desert look to it, but it also has kind of like a race, you know, race flag going on. And then we got the shark face. Definitely has a very cool look, very deserty, and definitely something I think a lot of people love with that kind of military-esque but customized kind of look to it. Go ahead and pop a reload there. Aiming down the sight, you can see the little star as well as a red marked sight, but of course that does not glow. Whoops. Then we've got this really cool looking AK, and this might be a little bit too sci-fi for Hulk. I hope it isn't, because this thing is just absolutely epic. I love the look of it, the circuitry, the design, the details. You even got the ones and zeros on the front of the grip there. Aiming down the sight, you can see some circuitry with little details, and then the sight is painted red with some, you know, kind of like gray steel tips, which is a little bit different from usual. We'll go ahead and pop that. There you go. Definitely one of my favorite AKs I've seen in a while. And before we take off there, we've got a bolty for it. It's a continuation of the Monument Memories set. Has that same kind of like denim with the little monuments all over it. Definitely a very sleek looking, different kind of bolty. I really kind of dig the way this looks, and that spiral at the end almost kind of distracts you. But it's definitely a very cool look, and I think the red on the sight can help kind of focus you back in there. But, you know, most people are going to be looking through scope anyways. But definitely a very nice bolty for sure. Lastly, we've got a couple LRs for you, starting out with this one right here. And this is definitely up on the flowery side, and this is the Bad Girl LR. Aiming down the sights, you've got some pretty little flowers, and there's one on the very tip of the sights there, a yellow one. And you kind of got that like grayish color that's going along with the pink for the tip. Over here you've got lots of flowers, peace signs, and arrows, and don't let it deceive you. Girls can be just as crazy as guys in Rust. So hey, just because you see someone with this LR doesn't mean you're gonna have an easy time. Next, we've got another really cool LR, and this one is the Atomizer 300. Has kind of like a steampunky look to it, as well as it's very dirty and worn, which I think is quite nice. Aiming down the sights here, you've got, of course, an atom, as well as this nice kind of like orange thing going on. And as you rotate, it kind of picks up the different colors, which I thought was cool. Now, again, this one does look like it has maybe a little bit of issues maybe with the shading or something, or maybe the spec layer. It does look a little bit darker than it should. Again, a nice, easy fix. I didn't want to pass up on the fact that this is a really cool LR just because of that. So, again, easy fix. So, hopefully they can get that done before Hulk takes a look at it. Then we've got one last LR for you. This is, again, another really epic one. Lots of great works this week. And this is the Valkyrie by Cubist. Aiming down the sides, you've got that little, I guess, the Valkyrie symbol. You've got a little V up under the front sight. And you can see it just has this really, really cool theme. It almost looks like Captain Marvel's colors. And this thing is just really, really epic. pop a reload there. It almost looks like there's an eye on it. I think there is an eye down there. Definitely an awesome looking LR. Then lastly, we've got a satchel for you, and this is the Legacy Satchel, because it has the old gunpowder symbol. If you don't know what that is, then you didn't play Rust before it became current Rust. Definitely love this. It even has the M18 smoke grenades from back when, and it's just absolutely a nostalgia trip, and I think that's why this would be a really awesome satchel. So that's going to do it, guys, for this week. I hope you see something you like, and hopefully it has a chance of making it in. Thanks for watching, and before we dip out, I'll be sure to show you those glowing weapons. As always, you guys have a great time, and we'll see you on Thursday for What Skins Make It In.